one dude who was doing the loudest, wettest farts all evening, giving his like, nobody throws a dwarf. Just over behind me, there's a lot of mountain goats. I start getting distracted. Down there, that's where I've been trying to get to all day. Ooh, there's an ambulance coming, that's interesting. So yeah, fingers crossed for the Harman. Really excited to see the results of that. Hope you just enjoy the view with me. I was hopeful all week that this weekend was going to stay nice, because at the beginning of the week the forecast was looking really good. It's gotten slightly colder, but as you can probably see from out the window, it's a stunning day and the weekend is supposed to be just as good. So I took a half day at work and decided to book camping in North Wales. So that's where we're heading now. Now I've got a couple of locations on my hit list, one of which is Dinorwic Quarry. I've been to Dinorwic a couple of times, but I've only really explored maybe like the bottom third of it. So a really popular location within Dinorwic is the Anglesey Barracks, which I have been to twice. Got some really nice photos there. But as I said, it's very popular. You'll see lots of photos there anyway. There is actually a building, and I had a look on the map, so I know where it is, but it's actually pretty much at the top level. And I think it's the old slate mill that would have been there, so cutting pieces of slate down into correct pieces and whatnot, but a lot of the machinery is still there. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you've probably seen my main camera and main lens that I use is a Lumix G9 with a Olympus 12 to 200 millimeters, which in full frame equivalent is a 24 to 400 millimeter lens. So it's got a massive range and can accommodate wide angle and sort of a medium telephoto, so it's a really useful system. The G9 isn't my only digital camera. My second camera, it's a very aesthetic camera, is a Lumix GX8. Now normally with the GX8 I leave a prime lens on it. I've got two prime lenses. I've got the Lumix 25mm f1.7 and then I've got the Sigma 16mm f1.4, and I really enjoy shooting with primes. They're really fun. They challenge you a little bit more because you have to think a little bit harder about your composition. It's not as easy as just twisting the zoom ring. So what I thought I would do, just to be a little bit on the lighter side when I'm walking around, I've left the G9 and the Olympus 12 to 200 at home, and I very, very rarely do that. I'm more of the person that is, oh well, I might as well take it, but this time I thought I would do something a little bit different. I do have another camera. It's a film camera because I recently picked up a roll of Harman RED, which I think is going to look really cool. So I've been driving for about an hour and I've got another 3.5 hours left on the clock. So I just parked up and it is absolutely roasting, but I thought I would load up the film camera. So I've got my GX8 at the moment, it's got the 16mm lens on it, and then I brought my favourite film camera, thought I'd treat myself, which is this, and it might look a bit weird. So this is a twin lens reflex, so you've got a viewing lens at the top and a taking lens at the bottom, and it's got a waist level finder. But the unique thing about this is it actually takes 35mm canisters instead of 120 format, which is what you normally find with TLRs. So, gonna load that up. That's a loud sheep. So the campsite yesterday was really nice. It was a lot busier than I expected for just a random Friday. It was fairly quiet. There was quite a large group of teenagers having a bit of fun up one end of the campsite. Thankfully I was down the other end, so it was much quieter, apart from one dude who was doing the loudest, wettest farts all evening. Like, I suppose better out than in, but oh, it was grim. It was grim. The quarry might be quite busy. There's quite a few people parked where I'm parked. This is a marked route that I'm on at the moment, so I anticipate, well, that's kind of cool, little pathway. Wonder where that goes. So I'm going to stick on this path until I get into the quarry and then sort of mooch around a little bit. Being as careful as I can, because it is quite dangerous here. I'm quite excited to use Harman RED. I haven't used it before. I think it's if I'm remembering off the box, a 125 speed. So 125 ISO essentially, but Harman says that if you shoot it at a slightly quicker speed, it's more of a dark red or a dark orange colour that comes out, so I'm going to shoot it at 125 speed. Oh, there's an ambulance coming, that's interesting. That doesn't fill me with confidence. As I said in the car yesterday on the way up, I've been here a few times. I know roughly where I'm going. I'm tracking myself on the Garmin, on my iPhone, and I've got a paper map and compass, and I know how to use them. The views are stunning. Great views. Going to get really good views of Snowdon up there. This is interesting. There's a lot of work going on here. Last time I was up in this section, it was completely dead. So I've got a couple of options which I might take throughout the day. So there's a chap way up there, you won't be able to see him, he's quite far up, walking up, and I'm pretty sure I saw another photographer going up these ones a second ago, or at least going this direction. Now what I'm after is all the way up here. This is going to be a hard day. It's 10 o'clock and it is already roasting, but I think I'll be able to get the drone up. But it's going to be a lot of climbing and being out of breath. All for the good photos, eh? One of the things about Dinorwic is you look at it on a map and it doesn't look huge. Like, it doesn't look like it takes up a massive amount of space. And I think that's just a trick of looking at it through like Google Maps or something, because it is huge. I mean, towering above me at the moment, and to think like all of this was man-made. This is where limiting yourself to only having primes can sort of be a bit of a downside. So just over behind me there's a lot of mountain goats, and they're all just chilling. In fact, there looks like there's a couple of babies, so I might try and get some pictures with my phone, because that's got a telephoto lens, just so that you can see what it is rather than me trying to cheat. The other thing is, if you can see behind me over my shoulder, the diagonal slate, that was what I was going to walk up, and it's all fenced off, new fencing as well. So I mean, I could jump these smaller ones, but the thing is I saw part of it. It's very, very tall, and obviously could be unstable because it's very old. It was this here, literally goes straight up to where I want to be. In fact, you can see somewhere there, that wall just on top of that is the building that I was after. So I might try and see if I can follow the guys that went up the other side earlier. It's a really cool building here that's sort of like dilapidated. Problem is it's just all of this modern fencing. I'm going to try and get some pictures here. I've still got the 16mm on. I'm half tempted to change to the 50, and you've still got the goats in the background, which is quite nice. So I just need to try and find some good compositions on this side of the fence. So this is good. So what I've done at the moment is I've framed this left wall that's closest to me is probably about a third of the frame, maybe just a little bit less. And then you've got the mountain goats in the background as well. I'm going to try and go around another way, but not 100% sure on how structurally sound the path is. But just to give you a bit of an idea, I can understand why they've cordoned this off more now. I mean, all of these fences, they've still got wire rolled up and everything, but if I zoom in here, so you can see that bit of the wall there is probably about 2/3 deeper past this this shale in front, and I don't know if you can see, so we'll zoom in even more. There's a hefty crack there, and all of this on the right hand side has started to fall down. It looks like, you know the scene in the Fellowship of the Ring when they're in the mines of Moria and they're just about to come out of the mines and they're throwing people down a bridge, and Gimli's like, nobody throws a dwarf. It reminds me of that. It's absolutely huge, and I can see from here it's like winding, so I don't want to be the one that walks up that and it collapses, so I'm going to try and find another way. And I did see people going up further along. This place is just an absolute cathedral. It's just enormous, and it goes down probably, I don't know, 6 stories, more than that, from where I'm stood. Just started walking up this monster, but I don't know if, well no, I'll just spin you around. So this is where I saw the photographer going earlier. There's a bunch of climbers going up there now, but now I've come round, I can actually see stairs up, so I think that might be the way up to the building that I want to get to. So I think I'm going to go that way, so I'm going to come back down. I'm probably going to sound quite out of breath. That was a lot of stairs. You get a lot of elevation in a very short space of time. Done about 2.5 miles and 170 metres of ascent. So slow going, because obviously I'm stopping to do filming and everything. Let's have a look in here. Oh, not too far though. Beams have started to break, but there is some big bits of rusted metal here, so I'm going to walk around and see if there's a composition that I can get through without being under that roof. This is very cool, and the light looks really good. I don't want to switch lenses because I'm quite enjoying using the 25mm. So I'm just going to have to get a bit further back, possibly in this building here. Got to be very careful where I'm stepping. There's a lovely window which I can use. Nice. That's going to look good. So you can see behind me more people coming up. Thought I'd just have a bit of a break, get some snacks down, and then make my way up that grueling set of stairs. I think because I've been here a couple of times before doing the lower levels, never come up this high, but because I've been here and it was quiet every single time I came, I think I'd just given myself a false sense of what it would have been like, because it's obviously a really nice day. I just can't believe how many people are here. A lot of hikers, people who look like they know what they're doing, climbers, and then there's a lot of people who don't look like they know what they're doing or where they are. I think that's why the ambulance is parked down there. It's waiting for somebody to hurt themselves. I've just got up onto a bit of a plateau. That was hard work. I can't remember what I said my elevation was when I started, but I'm on 257 now. So not a huge amount, but it was all stairs, big ones, and it's really bloody hot today. It's really hot today. There's a lot of pretty well maintained buildings up this side, apart from that one that's falling down. I'm probably 2/3 of the way to the top. Ah, that's what I was looking for. So, probably going to stop here and have a bit of lunch. But, can I spin you around? So, up there, I think you can see the cable as well. So that's obviously a
support for one of the cable systems that they would have used. So if I'm not mistaken, I might even be able to find an old archive photo of this, but they would have had like a pulley system with a bucket underneath, and that's what they would have used to transport the slate up and down from the different levels. So there's a lot of cabling and bits of metal here, but there's a really cool remnant of one of those cable buckets. Ladder, I will not be using that. And then just behind me over here, I don't know if you can see it, is the cable car bit. Cables are huge. It goes all the way up there, and then there's another one coming down, and that's where the little cable car remnant is. The nice thing about this camera is it's got a exposure compensation dial on the side, which I really like. This is a classic shot, but I can't really resist. Might even have to rat at this. I might actually have to get the 16mm lens out. Oh, no, that's good. Pretty sure this entire floor is just compacted poo. So I'm not going to go in here. And you can see the cable goes all the way back down. So I imagine it starts up here, comes back down, and then it's obviously snapped at some point. But I reckon it goes over to that winch house over there, or would have done back in day. This is definitely somewhere I think I can get some photos. Not in that room, that's got a poo floor. Chicken triples. So I am going to get the Harman out. That building is really cool. So I'm back in the building at this level. I've taken a couple of photos outside with the Harman. I want to get a shot in here. And I did think ahead. I brought a tripod and a shutter release. So I'm set up over here. I've gone down to 1/4 of a second. Got my composition all lined up. Why do I get the feeling that's doing a bulb shot? I feel like the shutter might be a bit weird on this. No, I think that worked. Right, for all that, let's pack it away. Oh, I'm going to be blinded now. Oh yeah, there's nobody down here now. That was the darkest situation that I've ever used that camera in and such. I've never really used the slower speeds on it, and I think the shutter was sticking a little bit, so I took quite a few shots. So thankfully this roll of RED has got 36 exposures, because a couple of those might just be complete rubbish, should we say. Which is a shame. I hope at least a couple of them have come out, because it would look really, really cool, RED scale, I think. So fingers crossed. Okay then. Wow. Oh, that's very cool. Apart from the rubbish. It's been very nice. I'm going to grab a couple of shots with the GX8. There's someone's old Trangia. Oh. Okay, I'm going to spin you around. What a view. That is stunning. Yeah, that's one of the nice things about all of these buildings is the windows, and then you've got like lakes, castles, ruins, mountains just in one shot. Yeah, this might be a bit harder to work with simply because there's a load of rubbish up here and somebody's tent. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Just down there. Trespass pop-up tent. Just take it with you, people. Creepy. Time to go up, and I think we're nearly there. We're nearly at the building that I came for. Of course, I picked the one that was on top of the quarry. Didn't pick the one that was right down the bottom. Although in saying that, the one down the bottom is the Anglesey Barracks, and everybody goes there. So I suppose you've got to work for the harder photos. I hope it's worth it. Still got maybe 23 photos left. Yeah, weirdly with this camera, the film counter, you can actually manually move it, but it counts down instead of up, which doesn't seem like a big deal. But when you're used to all of your cameras counting up, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's how many shots you've taken, counting down seems a bit weird. Is this the building I was here for? Don't think so. There's a lot of machinery in it though, still. Oh, this is cool. This looks like another one of the compacted poo floors. But there's an old engine of some description. Obviously belt here going up and around, so it's snapped off, and I imagine it would have powered something that's mounted on the floor here. Ah, okay, that would look like an old furnace. And then you've got a workman's table here, and then you've got an absolutely gorgeous view out here. Oh, success. So I've just been messing around in this building behind me. Well, that's a really deep black hole. I don't know if you'll be able to see it down there. Oh, but anyway, stop getting distracted. Down there, that's where I've been trying to get to all day. Oh, thank God I don't have to go up any higher, because it does go up higher. Probably the most precarious place I've put this. You're on a gorilla pod wedged into the rock. This is where I was wanting to come. Loads of machinery, and a bit further down you've even got saw blades that they would have used to cut the slate. I'm going to do a quick reading. There's some people on the other side of this wall. So I managed to find a side entrance into this thing, so I didn't have to squeeze through one of those small gaps. But here is a lot of the machinery, and you can see there one of the wheels on this side that's attached to this axle that would have then had a belt going through the wall attached to the wheels of the sawmills themselves. Just got some photos of a telegraph pole that was actually still standing, because all of the ones that I've come across so far have been well, horizontal instead of vertical. I've got some really good shots in there though. So yeah, fingers crossed for the Harman. Really excited to see the results of that. Why don't you just enjoy the view with me? That's amazing. Really amazing. Brilliant day to have done this. Back at the car now. Fantastic day. Oh, it was so worth it, and I'm really glad that I found the right way up to the Slate Mill that I was after. Of course, it had to be that high though. So in total, I did about 370 metres of elevation, which is pretty good in a day's work. Got plenty of good photos. Still got maybe about half the exposures left on the roll of Harman RED, so I might pop to some other locations.